The original building in the heart of the campus of Penn State University. 1861, the first graduating class came out of this old building. 11 people. Well, today, Penn State University claims over 300,000 living alumni. The opponent in the football game being played on this campus today is Michigan. Michigan claims more than 330,000 living alumni. These two schools are well represented around the world. Now, Michigan has played 1,010 college football games. They've won 734. That's the most in Division 1A. Penn State is fifth among the all-time wins in this category. Today, the Penn State Nittany Lions will have their 1,000th college football game. And believe it or not, finally Michigan is the opposition. These two teams have never before met. So come on, let's go watch some college football history. As ABC Sports College Football presents, in association with the College Football Association, a Big Ten matchup. The Michigan Wolverines and the Penn State Nittany Lions. Now for the next installment in our continuing feature on what's new in the world of sports science and technology. The Nittany Lions, always formidable, and especially in their Happy Valley. 5-0 this season, ranked 7th in the AP poll, Joe Paterno's 28th season. The inaugural season for Penn State in the Big Ten Conference, tied at the top of the standings with Ohio State and Wisconsin. They have beaten Minnesota and Iowa, and Penn State has a favorable schedule for the rest of the way, especially if they can get past the Michigan Wolverines today. Penn State will kick off to the Michigan Wolverines, and deep people are for Michigan are Tyrone Wheatley, number 6, and Derek Alexander, number 1, and Brett Conway, a freshman from Lilburn, Georgia, kicks it off for the Lions. The first time ever these fabled institutions have met in the game of football. And it's a good return for the Wolverines, back to the 28-yard line for Derek Alexander. Now, the people in the trigger positions in this ball game, Todd Collins, number 10. You see that he's thrown only 6 interceptions in 279 attempts. He's a junior. 3 of those interceptions came against Notre Dame. The backs and receivers in the ball game for Michigan, of course, Tyrone Wheatley is the key man. Derek Alexander is back healthy, one of the best wideouts in the country when he is healthy. And here's your first play of the ball game, with Wheatley lined up as the deep man out of the formation. And they send the tight end, number 80, moving behind the quarterback. Back and forth he goes like a windshield wiper. They give the ball to Wheatley, and Wheatley breaks it over the left side. And this is the man that kept Joe Paterno and his staff awake all week long. He's one of the great running backs in the country. The offensive front for Michigan, Runyon, Miller, Milia, Marinaro, and Sullivan. There are no returning starters in that offensive front, and they have not gelled as yet. But getting Milia back from injury is a great big plus, because Mark is the guy that calls the blocking assignments once the play has been called. He's the leader of the offensive front. It is a first down on the initial run by Wheatley out to the 41-yard line, and the Wolverines moved too soon. Mike Sullivan, the right side, a redshirt freshman, seemed to be the man who moved too soon. The referee is Jim Kimmerling. The Penn State defense will line up with Lou Benfatti leading the 4 down linemen, and these guys are about as good as anybody's. I mean, they are really outstanding. 2 of those the Penn State linebackers are ex-quarterbacks, Gelheiser and Holmberg, and the defensive secondary is made up of a bunch of headhunters. I mean, they will knock your hat off if you get in their neighborhood. We look forward to an old-fashioned head-knocking football game this afternoon in Happy Valley. First down and 15 after the penalty. Here's another flag thrown, and the running play is good to the 40-yard line with Wheatley carrying. And once again, the referee, Jim Kimmerling, steps up, and I think this time it was Tyoka Jackson who got caught in the neutral zone. Offside, Penn State. Gary Moeller, who is a bit beleaguered this year because there was so much conversation coming into this season that Michigan was capable of challenging for the national championship. But he's had so many injuries and lost so many people. 5 linebackers alone are gone. The offensive line has not come together as yet. A lot of factors involved, and of course, Joe Paterno is in fact a living legend in this part of the country. John Ritchie is in the backfield now for the Michigan Wolverines, the up man, number 40, and Collins' first pass of the day, swung out for Wheatley. This is what they'll do with him. Derek Pana comes up, and the strong safety, or the hero back as they call him, gets enough of Wheatley to take him down. That time you saw a little bit of that turf chunk up when he made his cut.
Collins has got to have a good day, and we mentioned in the opening that the running game needs to be productive, at least to take some pressure off of him. If they can't get the ball to Wheatley running the ball, the little swing pass, as you saw in that last play, will be very productive.
It is 2nd down and 7 now after we finally get a play off without a penalty, and that's Walter Smith in motion, handed to the up man, John Ritchie. Ritchie is a freshman from Mechanicsburg, PA. He got away and went off to Michigan to play his football.
Story of the game for Michigan: can their offensive line control a very strong and tough defensive line? That defensive line is 5th in the nation against the run. And for Penn State, their 3rd rushing offense in the nation against that battered Michigan front. That'll be the story today.
Wheatley and goes into a flank position. Shea Foster is the single back as they spread him out with this alignment. Todd Collins to throw it down the pipe. There, Derek Alexander, a catch at the Penn State 35-yard line in front of Shelly Hammonds. First down, Wolverine.
Hammonds, an outstanding coverage guy. This is just good coverage. Hammonds can't do anything more than this. 3 deep zone. Alexander keeps it wide to the outside of the field, and the ball is thrown wide. That's also like a curl, or it's called a wide slant or a wide post to keep it away from the free safety. 2 for 2 for Collins.
The ball rests right on the 35. First down for the Wolverine. Mercury Hayes is the man in motion. He's the speedster. Give the ball to Ricky Powers. And Ricky Powers, the senior out of Akron, will pick up 3 yards down to the 32-yard line. Last week in the game and the loss at Michigan State, the Wolverines ran the ball 23 times and gained a mere 33 yards.
23 times in a game. Rushing for Michigan is an all-time record low. And 33 yards production on the ground is the first time in, well, 28 years that they gained that few yardage in a ball game.
2nd down and 7. Those wideouts are going to be tired time today over all that motion stuff. That ball is drilled sharply, caught by Amani Toomer, number 18, a sophomore from Concord, California. He went down, made his plant in front of Marlon Forbes, the cornerback on the field side, and it's another Michigan first down. So they are marching down the field.
2 well-coached teams, Keith, and 2 teams offensively for Michigan. They're doing what they need to do, throwing the ball, playing pitch and catch and running. Defensively for Penn State, they're not doing anything aggressively, setting back, they're not making any mistakes. They may start attacking in this area, though.
First down snap is at the 22-yard line. Wheatley. Nope. They'll call him down after a yard. Shelly Hammonds came over. Bona, the strong safety, committed early and plugged the inside lane for Wheatley, and he had to go all the way to the sideline. First possession of the game. Penn State is yet to have the ball. No gain on the play. Call it 2nd down and 10. And in fact, the ball looks to me like it's closer to the 23 now than the 22. And Wheatley is the single back. There's some room in the middle. And the gain is to the 19. Holmberg, Rob Holmberg, who transferred over to Penn State from the Naval Academy. And the reason he did it, basically, is because the cuts that were being imposed on the military, he didn't see that much of a career future. So he changed it. The top 25 today, those teams are idle today. And in the case of Miami, they're happy to get some time off. Penn State had an open week to prepare for Michigan, and after this game, they have an open week to prepare for Ohio State. Jim Kimmerling calls time. It is his timeout. Collins. Swanee, Lynn Swan.
Well, Keith, the official called the timeout because coming into this end zone, the student section sits right to the left of the Michigan offense, and they are making a tremendous amount of noise. That is going to be a factor throughout the ball game. So what they're going to have to do is call a play that will work in all circumstances, and the receivers will have to look in for the snap of the ball.
That's what got Joe upset.
No reason for the referee to come in and call the timeout if the crowd's too loud. I thought maybe they were covering up the 25-second clock.
Yeah, this is something you got to live with. It's like that. And Kimmerling now is going to take another one because Collins is saying, my people can't hear me.
Well, this is the old crowd noise rule, Keith, in college football. If you can't hear, this is what their official does. First time, it's a referee's timeout. Second time, referee's timeout. Captains in public address announcer notify the crowd. The third time, it's a timeout or a 5-yard penalty if timeouts are exhausted. And then a 5-yard penalty each additional time.
Well, I won't have to take off my headset just to hear the crowd.
There is some kind of public address announcement going on right now, but I don't know how much effect it's going to have on the fans. Of course, the defensive players asking them to be quiet.
Now Kimmerling has said to Collins, run the play. Run the play. Stop begging. Run the play. Now you can charge Michigan with a timeout, can he?
Yep. The third one.
Timeout, Penn State.
He did
charged Penn State with a timeout.
The charge timeout.
Yep. That's got Joe steaming. He wants to talk to the official. But his timeout is charged against Penn State.
Video on ESPN Classic.
In the first quarter, both squads struggled with their special teams. Michigan missed left on a 31-yard field goal attempt, and Penn State missed right from 25 yards out. Yet as the first quarter progressed, Penn State's field goal kicker Craig Fyack redeemed himself, converting on a 40-yard attempt to put the Nittany Lions on the board with the first points of the game. So with the score Penn State 3, Michigan nothing, we now rejoin the action at the start of the second quarter, right here on ESPN Classic. ESPN Classic.
Gelhauser leads the tacklers for Penn State with 5 in the ball game so far in the first quarter. But the Penn State rush hasn't bothered Tom Collins much yet. Wheatley is the single back on third down and short, and this time the Lions rise up. But the forward surge may have been just enough. Both linesmen came right down the 30-yard stripe.
16 to the left is Gelsheiser. Right there. Yeah. I mean, that's the... There's a look at Sandusky, the defensive coordinator. That's the gravy. The linebackers get to go over the top. The tough work was done by the defensive line and the offensive linemen piling everything up.
And it is the first down. Wheatley and Foster. Defense. Tom Collins calling his play at the line of scrimmage. Not a place to do that. Wheatley. He's down at the line of scrimmage. Lou Benfatti, number 55, works along the trenches, along with Tyoka Jackson and Eric Clare. Benfatti is 6'3", 270, from Green Pond, New Jersey. And while you don't call his name very much, I can assure you that he is occupying the time and energy of 2 Wolverines on virtually every play.
He's making his 43rd start of his career today also.
Derek Bonner gets him by the coattail and brings him down.
Here's a look at what happened in the first quarter. Both teams had the ball twice. This Penn State with 16 plays to 14. Nothing really big difference in nowhere. 106 yards to 74. Time of possession about the same. No turnovers. And Penn State with the one field goal, and both of them had a miss. Defense is not playing too poorly. Offense is not getting it in the end zone.
Third down, long 2 with Powers in the tailback slot. Now, Ricky Powers. Collins lets it go down the middle, has a man wide open. It's Toomer, and Amani Toomer is down to the Penn State 41-yard line. First down, Michigan.
Good protection for Todd Collins. Little play action on 3rd and short. Middle of the field was wide open, and Todd Collins throwing the ball very well and getting some nice time to throw by that offensive line.
I think Sandusky is going to have to turn some blitzers loose here, isn't he? The down guys don't seem to be able to generate much pressure on him. Ed Davis is in the backfield. Deep man. He's the sophomore out of Detroit. Todd Collins lets it fly. Derek Alexander to the corner. No, can't get there. Eric Clare knocked Todd Collins down, but the ball was long gone.
It's a nice call, though, Keith. You're moving the ball. You're inside the 45-yard line of the defense. First down, play action, you throw long. Sometimes defenses don't expect you to throw the ball deep when you get across the 45, 40-yard line inside the 30 because of the back of the end zone. They think you're not going to throw deep. So first down pass, go deep. Stretch him out a little bit. You've been throwing underneath. Nice call.
Todd Collins' first miss. Wheatley's back. Collins looks for him, throws instead down the middle, and the pass is incomplete. Must have been intended for Walter Smith. He was the only eligible in the neighborhood.
Well, that was that wide receiver screen, Keith, and Gelsheiser, number 16, saw it coming all the way. Watch Gelsheiser, he's right here. Now as the linemen head out, Gelsheiser is going to head right that way also, and you'll see coming from the left side outside the picture, he sees it all the way. That could have been a nasty collision.
The ball rests at the 41-yard line of Michigan, where it is 3rd down and 10 for the Wolverines. Penn State leading in the ball game by a score of 3-0, and we have 12.5 minutes to go in the first half. Todd Collins throws underneath. The pass complete to Smith. Breaks one tackle, but can't get away from the rest of them.
That's Yeboah Cody, number 43. And one thing you can always say about a Joe Paterno coach team is they will always tackle well. He always has good people blocking and tackling. Never go beyond. I mean, they always got a lot of attention to blocking and tackling. You can talk about X's and O's and nickels and dimes and spreads and all that other stuff, but they'll always be able to block and tackle here.
All right, Chris Stapleton checks in. Number 10's Bobby Ingram. You just saw he's waiting for the punt. And let's see if Stapleton can try to hit the corner with it. He just sails it right on beyond the field of play. Often happens. The punter relaxes, tries to pooch it, gets it on the foot right. Away it flies. Each team possesses a leading rusher, ball carrier, and this is what the two leading ball carriers for the respective teams have done so far in the game. See that Wheatley has had it 6 times more than Carter.
4 times more.
4 times more, I'm sorry. Carter 32. Yeah, all want to wear 32, don't they? At least most of them do. Goes back to the days Jim Brown made it so popular. This carry by Brian O'Neill, who is a senior from Cincinnati, and he'll pick up 2 yards on the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Cincinnati, he went to the same high school as Roger Staubach. O'Neill had some injuries earlier this summer. Had a foot problem and had a disc in his back. He is a tough fullback, Keith. Doesn't get to carry the ball enough. You got 3 good tailbacks.
Yeah, they got 3 tailbacks and 3 fullbacks. Carry Collins. Ball bounces. Kyle Brady, is that a catch? Hit him on the knee, bounced up into his hands. Whatever it takes. And that'll be a first down for the Nittany Lions, and here's John. That'll send you to the supper table mumbling, won't it? This is Kajana Carter carrying the ball. And the 212-pounder will pick up another Penn State first down.
That's just a great run, Keith. Everything was boxed in, and he just took off with the sideline. He is second in the Big Ten in rushing and sixth in the nation right there, averaging 122 yards per game.
His quarterback helped him around the corner, too. Gave his body to a blocker.
You know, this offense is without their starting quarterback at the beginning of the year and one of their top wide receivers. Tyson Thomas, injured a knee, wide receiver, not here.
Ball is handed inside. Here goes Carter. Crosses midfield and goes down to the Michigan 44-yard line. Another first down for Penn State.
We talked about the inside linebackers. Another play inside. Watch right here as the tight end is going to come and get the block, and he's going to go inside, but right off the tight end's block. Brady, 81. That's Powers, 95. Good blocking.
There's a lot of green grass and no white shirts on there for a minute, wasn't there?
Yep.
8 carries, 92 yards for Carter. He's got it again. He's still going. Caught.
Poor tackling.
Yep.
Of course, a guy like Carter, he'll make you miss some tackles.
Well, the history dictates here at Penn State that the home crowd fully understands and will lend their appreciation loudly to the running backs because they watch them. They know what they can do, and they're watching a good one in Kajana Carter. Mike Archie is now in, and but the defense, he's no bargain either. He's 206 pounds and can run. Kerry Collins goes to the corner. Touchdown! Bobby Ingram.
The 35-yard line, throw it down deep. Ingram beats Birch. He sees the ball, goes back for it. That is his 8th touchdown in 5.5 games, really. Outstanding.
The point is good. 9:33 to play in the first half. It's 10-0. Penn State leading Michigan. Brett Conway will kick it off for Penn State as the Nittany Lions lead by a score of 10-0 with 9.5 minutes to play in the first half.
This kid Conway, Keith, is a true freshman, taking some of the pressure off of Fayak. Was the number 2 kicker in the nation last year behind Bentley at Florida State.
They don't want Tyrone Wheatley to get it, but he's got it anyway. And they get him. And this is how it became a 10-0 ball game.
From behind the offense, it's a good call. As we mentioned, inside the 35, 40-yard line, the ball is a little bit underthrown. That's Ingram's 8th touchdown reception of the year.
You know, Alfie Birch kind of lost sight of the ball, turned the wrong way, and then couldn't get back to it. Ingram's putting some new marks in the record book, as you see.
He's only a sophomore, sat out last year.
So Todd Collins lets it go to Derek Alexander. Dukes one, gets up across the 35, and that'll be a first. No, I don't think so. Not quite a first down. It is a first down. for Michigan, and now we get a penalty flag. Can't beat the clock. They still had 13 seconds remaining on the snap clock, so here's Jim Kimberling to tell us what happened. Wolverines making another mistake.
Here's a look at Michigan in the Big Ten this year versus last year. You can see on the left side they were total defense and rushing defense. The offense is down below. They led in all of those categories, and this year not quite as good. Of course, they lost their entire offensive line and Elvis Gerbach, and the defense has been hurting with all of those injuries to the inside linebackers. So it's been a little bit different going this year for Gary Moeller.
1st and 15, the ball back near the 30-yard line. Todd Collins lets it go. Got a man over there on the sidelines. The pass is completed up around the 38-yard line to Derek Alexander, the senior out of Detroit. Shelly Hammonds, cornerback, made the hit on him, number 21. Shelly Hammonds was a running back when he first came here. Then he went to the defense, and he went back to the offense and wound up at defense, and he's a good one.
Oh, he's an outstanding player. A couple of years ago against Boston College, he gained over 200 yards in the second half alone, but he still wanted to play defense, and that's where he is. And he's an outstanding corner.
Wheatley, the single back. He's got it. When he made his cut, kind of lost his footing, turned it back inside. Lee Rubin had him in his sights, and he slipped, and Rubin missed him, but he didn't get much out of the play. The top 10 today.
We're early, so there are not a lot of these games have started yet. But that's a look at the AP top 10.
ABC Sports has pretty well represented the top 10.
Yep. A bunch of good ones.
3rd down and 7. Today and October 30 are really two outstanding days of college football. Exceptional. All day long for Todd Collins. Throws the ball finally to Tyrone Wheatley. He's taken down at the 45 by Willie Smith, an inside linebacker for Penn State, and I think he got him just a little short of his first down. But I'm really impressed by the way the Michigan offensive front has handled the Penn State defense.
They have. Michigan came in allowing a few sacks, but Penn State had 18 coming in.
Yep.
That's going to be just short. Michigan's going to punt it away again.
Stapleton will be kicking to Bobby Ingram. Stapleton's 2 punts, 28 and 38. That's a good kick. It's high hanger. Ingram lets it go, and this time got burned. Ball is down inside the 5. Sometimes it'll go in, and sometimes it won't.
He did the right thing.
50-yard punt. The football is going to be marked and put in play from right about the 5. So let's call it the 5-yard line, where the ball was screwed right in there and stuck just like a good, well-hit 7-iron. Mike Archie and John Whitman will be the running backs for Penn State now on this snap. This is be careful country. Penn State leading 10-0. Collins gives it to Archie. He bangs his way into the middle and goes to the 10. That's a 5-yard pickup. A little more than 5. The other tailback for Penn State is Stephen Pitts. We haven't seen him yet. We will.
One of the things Michigan likes to do, Keith, is slant their linemen. You can see it real well right here. Watch as the white shirts will slant to our left, the linebackers, and fill the holes. Nice block there by the fullback Whitman. Penn State's ready for that slant.
Archie again, trying to bounce outside and can't get away. Bobby Powers, a good play for the junior from River Ridge, Louisiana.
Powers is an overachiever. He's an outstanding young man. He's 6 foot, only 231 pounds, 13 tackles last week against Michigan State, and he's one of those linebackers that are filling in on the inside in there for Michigan.
Loss on the play to make it a 3rd down and 6 now as O'Neal comes back into the backfield. He's a good pass receiver. And Kerry Collins couldn't find anybody to throw to, turns it upfield, runs it out of bounds, and was trying to get the ball to the 15, which is where he had to go for his first down. And the Wolverines would not let him get there.
More than anything, Keith, that's a safe call when you're backed up in your own end zone. Yep. You get outside. You're not going to get sacked in the end zone, first of all. And secondly, you get outside where you can see and not throw any interceptions.
V.J. Musillo comes in, a junior from Long Branch, New Jersey. That number 1 you just saw dropping back is Derek Alexander. He's going to give Michigan very good field position if he handles the ball. Musillo's punt is out of there. Alexander takes it at the 48-yard line. On a hole. He's gone. Touchdown, Michigan. Yard punt return by Derek Alexander, and the Wolverines get a big play. Special teams.
Both teams are very good at returning kicks.
It's number 52.
It's Smith, Willie Smith, the linebacker. Backup linebacker for Penn State.
Can't bring him in like that anymore. Johnny turned that thing around in a hurry over there before.
Yep.
Now it's going to take him some time.
Yep.
This is Elezovic for the extra point. And it's good. Well, he hooks that thing pretty well, doesn't he? He really snaps it sometimes. But he got that one in at 5:14 to go in the first half. It's now a 10-7 ball game, Penn State.
On Michigan's schedule was Notre Dame, that they ranked 3rd or 4th in the country now, aren't they?
Yep. Michigan 3-2 coming into this game. Penn State is 5-0, and the Wolverines go to the attack from the 20. And the ball to Tyrone Wheatley, and he's got about 6 yards on the carry. Penn State does not play Wisconsin. In case you missed the Badgers' name and that future alignment for them. And they finished the season at Michigan State, which couldn't be a bump in the road. But their first problem right now is to win this game. Michigan Wolverines laden with history. You know, they played in the very first collegiate bowl game back in 1902, the Rose Bowl. Fielding Yost's lads defeated Stanford 49-0, and that was what set in motion ostrich racing and chariot racing and all of that. Rob Holmberg is the man hurt. Terry Killens comes in to replace him. Hand off to Tyrone Wheatley, and Wheatley is stopped just short of the 30-yard line. Now here's Lynn Swan with a report on Michigan's halftime message.
Keith, I talked to Cam Cameron, the offensive coordinator. He said, of course, they want to stop the penalties. They said they need better blocking from the right side of their offensive line. And the only thing that Penn State's doing that they had not anticipated was a nickel defense with that 5th defensive back floating in the middle. On the defensive side, they feel like they just need to tackle better, but they are feeling the pressure of Penn State going after their inside linebackers.
All right, Swanee, that's Derek Bonner down on the field, shaken up on the last play. It would appear that none of his appendages are damaged, though he's pointing to his right ankle. So apparently that's the problem.
Let's take a look at the first half offensive leaders for Michigan. Todd Collins played well, 99 yards. Wheatley ran for 72. Alexander had 4 catches for 48 yards. Alexander had the punt return for the touchdown. In the first half possessions, they had 5 of them. They really didn't do a lot after the first possession of 10 plays. As I mentioned, the touchdown that Michigan had was a punt return by Derek Alexander.
Derek Bonner is walking off the field. 4-year starter. Tough guy.
Yeah, he is a good football player.
1st and 10 for the Michigan Wolverines. The ball is placed on the 30-yard line. Todd Collins. Hands to Wheatley. And Wheatley will have 5. Ioka Jackson hosted that tackle. You can see Wheatley expressing himself walking back to the huddle. looking for some fire. Michigan's been a little flat.
After last week when he played Michigan State with that stunt 4-3 of George Perlis, he only gained 33 yards all day. Today he's got some running room and he's pretty excited about it.
Second down, 5. Wheatley again. Outside. There's the first down at the 44-yard line. Cliff Dingle making the tackle for Penn State. He's on the field in place of Derek Bonner. Number 46 we just saw there a moment ago is another great story for Penn State. Marlon Forbes, walk-on.
Yeah.
And by golly,
he was on a Navy ROTC scholarship.
Yeah. Kept at it and finally got the starting job. Cornerback. On first down, Todd Collins throws, pass caught by John Ritchie, the fullback. And Ritchie will get a first down at the 43-yard line of Penn State. Bill Yeboah Cody got it down. He's the junior from Montreal.
Take a look at Penn State defensively in the Big Ten. They lead the defensive categories 6 out of 7 of the total defensive categories. They are number 1. So this drive of Michigan going against a very good Penn State defense.
Rob Holmberg back. Ricky Powers, the deep man. And the offensive line surge with Powers carrying is pretty good. The offensive front for Michigan has played quite well today. Thank you.
Number 40, you see there, John Ritchie, the fullback from Michigan. He's from Pennsylvania, right around here. As you take a look at Tioka, number 97 right there, Jackson. Plays off of Jenkins, number 97. The thing about it, Keith, even when Penn State is making a play, they're still falling forward for 2 and 3 yards.
Todd Collins, 11 of 13 for 112 yards. He's hit 6 in a row for Michigan. Wheatley. And this time it's Ricky Powers, and Tioka Jackson one more time. Tioka is from Forestville, Maryland. And as we said earlier in the first half, a very good defensive football player at 6'2", 265 pounds.
Well, Jackson is a defensive end, and sometimes colleges will list these guys as defensive tackles or nose tackles, and I think it just sounds better to him. He asked us to say, now be sure you list me as a defensive end, because a defensive tackle sometimes sounds like a big guy that can't move, doesn't get any sacks. Tioka is a defensive end that rushes the passer.
Ricky Powers. And Gelsheiser makes the tackle on him. But Ricky Powers has a pretty good gain on that play all the way down to the Lions' 29-yard line. And the Wolverines may have something going here.
Well, we say he's a pass rusher. He gets upfield here. Terzel Jenkins, 97, just takes him out. The play went inside of him. Of course, his responsibility on that play was containment, and he certainly did turn the thing in. It's a linebacker's job to make the tackle inside.
Powers again. Never really got started. Sort of stumbled before he got to the line of scrimmage. Will pick up maybe 3 yards on the carry. And the Michigan offensive line doing a very good job in this possession against the Penn State defense.
Correct, Keith. Doing a nice job. Runyon, 69. 57 is Miller. Melia, the center, number 67, has been out the last 2 weeks with an injury, and having him back makes a big difference in the line calls. The center makes all of the calls and checkoffs at the line.
Jay Foster, the single back, has the ball. They doesn't get it all that many times, but he punches inside the 24. Derek Bonner has not returned to the lineup as yet at cornerback for Penn State after the ankle injury. Standing, however, on the sideline.
There's a look at Gelsheiser, number 16, the inside linebacker. He was a quarterback in high school. That's why he's got that number 16, but he is a linebacker. Brings back memories of Jim Kelly when he came out of high school in Pennsylvania. They wanted to make him a linebacker.
Third and 5, and Tyrone Wheatley back in there at the single back. Todd Collins. Pressure coming backside. Ball is knocked loose, and they're going to call it an incomplete forward pass. Woo, that's close. Eric Ramati, number 94, got his man that time.
Ravati comes around the outside, and they changed this rule a couple of years ago that if there is any doubt as to whether the arm was coming forward or whether it wasn't, that it was going to be an incomplete pass.
Well, the home folks are hooting and hollering about it. Sort of reminds me of that time when Paul McDonald left-handed one into the chest of Western Notre Dame. I defended the official that made the call, and they almost hung me in South Bend. This is man-sized, 41 yards for Elezovic. The holder is Riemersma, quarterback.
Into some wind, too.
Wind's in his face. Penalty flag is down. Low line drive kick is no good. Let's see about the penalty. It's going to be against Penn State. It was 4th and 5. Offside against Penn State.
There's a look at the breeze. Pretty good breeze. It's going mostly, it's quartering, but it's coming, well, if anything, it's coming at the kicker. Question is that enough for a first down? Take a look at the bottom of your screen, Penn State. Well, oh, I'll tell you, if that is a first down, that's like a turnover right there.
It certainly is. It is a first down.
Critical mistake right there.
I think it was Hammonds. Was trying to come in and get some pressure.
Well, in the last 2 weeks, Paterno's troops have blocked 2 kicks, and they have led to 10 points. So that time, they just got a little anxious.
So Wheatley is the single back as Michigan misses the field goal try, gets an offside penalty against Penn State to get a first down out of it. The ball is near the 18-yard line. They are not happy in Happy Valley. Wheatley is caught behind the line of scrimmage and down at the 20.
What's happening here, Keith, is Collins is checking off a great deal on running plays, direction right or left. You can see him there turning around there. But down to this end, the noise is really bothering him.
Second down, at least 11. This is Wheatley. And they stop him at the 16. So they'll be looking at 3rd and about 8. I think with Jenkins in the ball game, number 77, Trezell Jenkins, the Michigan offensive front may be functioning just a little bit better. Of course, they've got Melia back this week, too. Rod Payne had to step in there last week.
I think Melia back at center is making a big difference as far as the line calls.
Eric Fana comes back into the ball game at his corner spot now. And he's got to get over there and play on the field side with his little ankle. And they're double wide on that side right now. And Collins is looking that way. Todd Collins lets it go, and it is
touchdown.
Touchdown, Mercury Hayes. I couldn't tell if he was in or if he was out. The man over there in the striped shirt said he was in.
Well, here he is here. He's going to go down and run to the corner, and I think the man that you were just talking about, Bana, is right here, and he's going to get beat to the corner. The outside man runs a little out to occupy the corner. The slot man, Hayes, runs an out pattern. That is Bana, number 35, who just came back in after that ankle injury.
Elezovic is in for the point. And it's good. And the Michigan Wolverines, for the first time today, go to the lead by a score of 14-10. They go 80 yards in 14 plays, but they had a huge penalty break called against Penn State, an offside that gave them life on the first down. drive you see there, but as we noted, the biggest play in that drive really was that 4th and 5 offside call on Penn State. And I think if you go back and look at your tape, you'll find that Shelly Hammonds was offside.
That was a good call. There's no doubt about it. But Penn State had stopped him. And it's like a turnover, like we said. That was an 80-yard drive, first drive of the second half for Michigan.
And they had missed the field goal try.
Oh, yes. That's big.
So Michigan leads 14-10. Hamilton kicks it off. Hammonds and Carter wait for it. Low liner under the wind into the end zone. No return on that one. Here's another look at the touchdown.
Hayes is number 9, the inside receiver. Outside receivers go to break out just to occupy the outside corner. Bonner, number 35, is just out of the picture to the right side right there. Ball's thrown a little late. It could have been there sooner. Nice catch. Fischel is there. Fischel is there doing his job. There's another look at it. There's the short receiver breaking out to occupy Forbes, number 46. Ball is thrown to the deep man. Is he in?
Yep.
Look at that. Nice call by the official. Knee
Close.
was down and
Pretty close.
possession of the ball. Yep.
Yeah, this is Kajana Carter for Penn State. And Michigan gets him at about the 26-yard line. So give Kajana 6 yards on that carry. Lions trying to fight back now, down 14-10 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the third quarter. Keith Jackson, Bob Greasy, and Lynn Swan on this here telecast.
And if you wonder why Joe might have some gray hairs, is because of that last series. He had them stopped. They were going to go for the field goal. They missed the field goal. He jumps off sides, and then they get the touch out of it.
Carter hit behind the line of scrimmage. Turns it up for a couple of yards. And put Mike Archie in the backfield now, number 2.
Good receiver, Archie.
Kerry Collins lets it go. Archie catches. Greasy's right in the playbook again. Chuck Winter shoves him out of bounds.
There's a look at Lloyd Carr, defensive coordinator for University of Michigan. He's been trying everything this year to hold this defense together. As we mentioned, if you weren't with us at the beginning, 5 inside linebackers are hurt and out, including Steve Morrison, the leading tackler from last year and also this year before he was injured.
Freddie Scott, who comes from Southfield, Michigan, number 31, is in as a wideout, bottom of the picture. And Collins back, looks for him and lets it go. And he's got a chance at it. The penalty flag. Called against number 22, Ty Law. Ty reached over, grabbed a hold of it. So the one that left home to play football at Penn State is involved in a big play for the Nittany Lions.
But single coverage again. Michigan trying to stop the run with 10. You got a lot of one-on-one situations. Can't tell from there whether
Pass interference on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
The only thing that you might see there is the you can't see the left hand. I don't know where the left hand is. The left hand is not on him.
Well, it was earlier. It was earlier. He had him before that.
From those shots that we saw, it was hard to see if there was anything there, but
doesn't matter.
It's too late now, but every time they throw wide, they're getting one-on-one.
Rolls out, lets it go again. Got a man wide open, is tight end Kyle Brady. And Brady makes his second catch of the ball game down at the 31-yard line for a first down. So the pass interference call, 15-yard penalty on that. Now the completion to Brady. And the Nittany Lions are trying to respond to the Michigan touchdown.
Fran Ganner there on the left, the offensive coordinator. Joe will let him call the plays for a while, and then he'll say, well, let me take it over for a while. So you look at Florida out in front of Bowden. Not Bobby, Terry. He'll get Bobby later on in the year.
Both those guys undefeated, though. Florida and Auburn both. This is Brian O'Neill, the fullback. And that's a loss on the play as Jarrett Irons, number 37, and Trevor Price, number 8, make the tackle. And second down and 10. Collins better hurry. Ball is batted around, and it is incomplete and almost intercepted, and away we go to John Saunders.
Keith, you know Michigan and Penn State have their eyes on the Rose Bowl. How about Wisconsin? Darrell Bevel, 19 yards to Mark Montgomery. They lead Purdue 28-0. Bevel's 12th touchdown pass of the year, and they're undefeated. Keith.
But that's some tough guys coming down the highway in the near future. Mike Archie and Brian O'Neill. And Collins running and lets it fly, and it was late. And a penalty flag hit out of bounds. Ty Law has hit Chip LaBarca out of bounds, and I think they're going to get a personal foul call.
It looked to me like to be a very good call, too, like Law hit him before the ball even got there.
So Ty Law now has been flagged twice in this Penn State possession, and they've both been big plays.
Look from behind the quarterback. That's Price, number 8, putting some pressure. Well, I couldn't really tell from that.
Pass interference on the defense. Spot foul. First down.
The official that called that play was probably the same one that made the call down in the end zone for the touchdown for Michigan. I'm not sure about that, but
he won't get a Christmas card from Ty Law. First down at the 22. This is Archie. Started again, and that second start got him about 4 yards. A total of about 6 on the carry.
Let's go back and take a look. See if we can see anything differently. It's really hard to tell. We didn't see the whole thing. The official was there.
Second down, call it 5. Archie. First down. Good tough run by Mike Archie. Down to the 11-yard line. Michigan man shaken up. One of the defenders on that corner took a couple of hits, and he's still down. That's people, it looks like.
Take a look at the offensive line for Penn State. That's 81 is Brady blocking on Stanley. O'Neill out there, the fullback. Nice block by Brady. He's 256 pounds at 6'6". Blocking on Stanley, who's about 283. And the tight end won that one. How would you like to have a tight end weighing 256?
At the conclusion of the ball game today, as we have been doing for a quarter century, the Chevrolet most valuable players will be chosen from each team, with each university getting $1,000 from Chevrolet for its general scholarship fund. Time remaining in the third quarter, 2:24. Timeout for the injured player, and it's a 14-10 Michigan lead.
Only on ESPN Classic.
The injury is to Matt Dyson, number 91. And the problem is his own teammate is going to come from the left side as this play develops and roll right into him. That's Henderson, 79. And those types of things are just going to happen sometimes in football. They just can't be avoided. He's walking off gingerly, but he's had problems all year, and he is one of their best players. He was an all Big Ten player last year.
That's a big loss for them to lose him.
Oh, yeah. They've lost those 5 inside linebackers.
Well,
and now
Steve Morrison, Marcus Walker, Dave DeBref, Greg McThomas, and Nate Holden all gone.
Yeah.
And it's first down, Penn State, 1st and 10. The ball is on the 11-yard line. Penn State, Mike Archie with the ball, breaks the corner to the goal line, but not in, just short. When you have 3 high-quality tailbacks, you get down to this point of the game, they show up, don't they?
You saw the conversation on the other side. Paterno's talking to Gantner and just saying, now listen, Just don't do anything fancy. Just run it in. Even if it takes 2 or 3 plays, we got a first down. Don't take any chances. Easy handoffs. We just want the touchdown. Oh, yes.
So it's Brian O'Neill and Brian Milne, 2 fullbacks, with Archie, the tailback, in the lineup. And timeout. O'Neill and Kerry Collins were not on the same page. And Collins called a timeout.
Sometimes part of the problem is on the bench over there, getting the play in too slowly or sending the substitutes in, and then by the time you get out there and get up to the line of scrimmage, you don't have that much time. So in deciding which play or which personnel, you use up all the clock.
.139 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Penn State with a threat here, sitting just inches away from the Michigan goal line. These are games that offers the ticket to the Rose Bowl. And the games as they come along. You see that on October 30, Penn State and Ohio State in Columbus. On the same day, Arizona and UCLA. That game could become enormous in the Pac-10. Then, of course, Michigan, Wisconsin with the Badgers undefeated. And then the 6th of November at Madison, Ohio State goes calling against Wisconsin.
Those yellow numbers on there are the rankings of the teams. Arizona does not play Washington this season.
Washington-UCLA game is coming up later on some of your ABC stations and on pay-per-view in some areas of the country. All right. Penn State trying to regain the lead in this ball game. Collins on the quarterback sneak.
He almost didn't get that ball, Keith.
Right. He did. Sure looked like he was reaching for it.
And I've said it before. What happens is the center ducks his rear end to go block, and the quarterback does a double take. Michigan defensive line, good surge there. This is all you want to do, straight ahead. Especially if it's 1st and goal on the 1. You can do this again and give it to one of the backs straight ahead.
He didn't make it.
No, he's not moving anybody in there.
Nope.
You know, this is good, tough football, and this is what you expect from a guy that's been at the same school.
It's time for the big uglies, boys.
Yeah.
I mean,
if there was ever a big ugly game, this is it. Down in the trenches, the old paint swamping. You got some paint swapping on those helmets. Look at that. Yes, sir.
John Carter is in the lineup now. Why didn't they give it to Mike Archie on the 1st down? He's the one that put him down there. They didn't. Now it's Carter over the top.
Now what do you do?
Not in there either.
There's no question. You go for it on 4th, huh?
I would.
Although you haven't been close.
I don't have to be the loser either. Michigan's all pumped now.
You go for it on 4th. If you don't make it, at least you leave them down there on the 1-foot line. But I think this time I'd try something on the corner.
Yeah, I think I might have started.
I wouldn't pull anybody, but I'd try something on the corner.
John Whitman comes in now. He's the better blocker of the fullbacks. We run out of time in the 3rd quarter. So we'll delay this drama for just a moment. Be back after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Well, if you're from the old school and you come up the tough way, the hard way, you run the 2 plays inside with a quarterback sneak. I think that's right. Then you try and send the tailback over the top. I think that was the right call. And now, I think you go off the corner. You either roll your quarterback out. Dyson is back in, which is good news for Michigan. You roll your quarterback out to the wide side, which is left, and you got a right-handed quarterback, or you give it to your tailback off the corner. But you don't pull anybody out of the line because defensive men will run through.
Well, the ball was 6 inches away from the goal line. It is now a full yard away from the goal line. And you've got Brian O'Neill lined up up with Brian Milne and Kadrona Carter.
Left tackle, right tackle.
Carter in the middle, didn't make it.
Great
Did
defense.
not make it.
Outstanding defense.
The Michigan defense would not yield. A defense that has been kicked around a goodly bit this year, but this time their mettle was tested and they were equal to the challenge.
94 is Horn. He's going to get in there. Nobody's going to block him. Right there, the man in the secondary took the fullback out. Right here, this man is going to come in, and nobody is going to block him. Watch to the right side of your screen. He just runs around the block. It's Stanley and Horn just to the right of your screen now. They were slanting. Michigan was slanting to the outside, and they guessed right.
The referee, Jim Kimling, has just thrown a flag. The clock never moved.
Illegal substitution, 12 men on the field, half the distance.
That doesn't mean much. The clock never moved on that fourth down play. It still shows 15 minutes on the game.
This is still a critical time right here now. I mean, Penn State still has, it's where the ball is, and you got them on the 1 yard line. Michigan needs to do something to get this ball out of there.
And it's not the 1 yard line. It's less than that. It's like just virtually touching the goal line after the penalty. They got to take some time here to adjust the clock because it had to use some time on that fourth down play. Penn State had 13 plays, no points. And the Michigan defense is really jacked right
Keith,
now.
let's take a look at this. Here are the two inside tackles. Now let me show you what they're going to do. They're going to slant to the outside. All the defensive men are going to slant outside, and the two linebackers are going to step up in the inside. Now what that does is, if you're trying to run the ball here, everybody's slanting to the outside, you miss half your blocks. So Lloyd Carr, defensive coordinator, was guessing they weren't going to run the quarterback sneak up the middle. If they would have run the ball up the middle before the linebackers got there, the quarterback would have been in. But that's what you guess on the out. You pinch some and you slant them out some. And that time he guessed right.
They've run off 3 seconds on the clock. It is now 10-7. That game is being played at Auburn. Florida leading by 3.
Kansas State undefeated.
Yeah. All right, now we go. Todd Collins gives the ball to John Ritchie, and he's maybe out near the 1 yard line.
He is a true freshman, and he is from right around here.
Yeah, Mechanicsburg.
Yeah, he was recruited very heavily by Penn State. Has some bunch of family and friends. He said he didn't expect them to be rooting for Michigan State, but Michigan. But Penn State was one of the schools he visited. Penn State wants to just hold him down here. At worst, force him to punt.
Slams out to the 3, so it'll be third down, about 8. And Wheatley now on 21 carries has 101 yards. Ryan Monahan made that last tackle. Senior from Wexford, PA, number 36. Oh, actually closer to the 2, isn't it? Real estate through the middle has become very precious.
Yes, it has. This is key down here. If Penn State can stop them and force them to punt.
Give it to Wheatley. Cuts it back. And they do stop it. Just barely, but they stop it. Lee Rubin, the free safety, number 39.
Let's pause a second and look at the numbers after 3 quarters. Pretty much the same. Penn State has 8 more plays, 51-43, and a few more yards. No turnovers in the game, and the time of possession pretty much the same.
The Michigan punting team coming in. Stapleton has punted 4 times today. The last one was 66 yards, and that is his career long.
I mentioned Penn State has blocked 2 kicks in the last 2 weeks, 2 games.
Bobby Ingram is waiting. The wind is at the back of Stapleton.
Went for the return, no block.
Didn't get all of it. Ingram midfield. Pretty good coverage. Bobby gets back to the 39-yard line. 40-yard punt, 11-yard return. Now Penn State try again to regain the lead.
Hi, I have an apology to make. That's me in the sedan, the one who caused the Gawker slowdown on your way to that climb.
Nights on ESPN Classic.
Take a look at the quarterback comparisons. Both the Collinses, Todd on the left for Michigan is 12 of 15 and 128 and a touchdown. Carey 10 of 19 and 140. Pretty similar results.
On 1st and 10, Terry Collins rolls out. He's got some people coming after him, and they chase him out of bounds just about the line of scrimmage. Bobby Powers would have none of it. Bowers was right on his heels the whole time, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
So look at Bobby Powers.
What has Michigan done here in the 2nd half to shut down the Penn State running inside?
Well, Powers is playing better.
Stepped up, right?
And Irons, the other inside linebacker, has 10 tackles on the day.
So the alleged weakness of Michigan has not, it's gotten stronger as the game has gone on because of Irons and Powers stepping in. And throwing it this time, throw it to Brady, the tight end. Pickup is about 6 yards on the quick pop. Shante Peoples takes him down, the strong safety. Normally you'll find the strong safety shadowing the tight end.
Well, Keith, one of the other things you do is you blitz this linebacker. That was the linebacker, and he's going to pop the tight end right in the area where the linebacker, I think it was Powers this time. And Brady saw him blitz. So did Collins, and he popped him in the open area.
Mike Archie is in the backfield now. He's the man in motion. Throwing in this series, that the ball is caught by Bobby Ingram, and he's got a 1st down. Only the dancing feet of Ingram carried him for the sufficient yardage to move the chain. He was in traffic.
That's the wide receiver screen with the lineman ducked in behind the lineman. But Keith, this is really take a look from behind. Watch the lineman on the left side. Pickett 79. They all going downfield. Now look, whoa! He just dodged that defensive lineman that was coming back.
And so they move the chains, and on 1st down, this is Mike Archie. And Archie with another good tough run of about 8 or 9 yards. Puts it inside the 20 at the 17.
This drive is really a continuation of the one that got stopped a few minutes ago.
Absolutely.
Because Penn State defensively stopped Michigan on 3 downs, forced them to punt it. They took over on the 39-yard line of Michigan. Now they're just picking this drive up again.
I tell you what, though, I declare I'd keep using Mike Archie.
Well, he has the fresh legs. I think Carter in the 1st half kind of ran out of gas because he ran so much. Look at this.
That's Bobby Powers having to come off the field now. He's been very, very big in the 2nd and 3rd quarters at that inside linebacker position. He didn't want to come off. He's got 10 tackles. And there's Mike Archie. He's got it again. This time, Jason Horn searches him out and brings him down, and he did not permit the 1st down. So it'll be 3rd and about, oh, that's at least a yard, almost a yard and a half. Ole Miss is next for Alabama, too.
Yeah.
Third down, at least one. Archie, first down at the 14-yard line. He's a pounder.
We give credit to the offensive line, Hardings and Rivera on the strong side of that line. Number 50, as you see there, is Hardings. Really the center.
Powers has had to come out again. Vanderbeek is in. This is Archie to the 10 and inside the 10. So he picks up the better part of 5 yards on that carry.
Sometimes, Keith, it's easier as you take a look at Penn State rushing. Carter is 120. Archie now has picked up 42, a lot of that. But sometimes when you get inside the 20, it's easier to score the further away from the goal line that you are. So when you get closer, the choices are a lot shorter.
That's Milne carrying the ball there, and not much for him. He bangs into the middle and then surges to the left and trying to ride behind Rivera and Hardings. The ball is put now at the 8-yard line. They've got to go inside the 4 to get a first down. So they need at least 4 yards.
Some of that those offensive linemen, Hardings and Rivera, Malinowski.
Archie and Milne lined up behind Kerry Collins. That's Scott in motion. Pressure coming in there. He gets it away. And no flag in the end zone. As Ingram is tangled up with Burt, and Ingram is screaming. And no call. And it's 4th down.
He was lucky to get this ball away as a blitz. The 2 men on the lower left are coming in. But watch Ingram and Birch.
You can face guard in college.
You certainly can. No foul there. Nice no call by the official.
25-yard field goal try. Fayak missed from 25 in the first quarter. Made from 40. This one is good. Penn State can't get the touchdown, but they close to 1. It is now 14-13 with 8:51 to play. 35-yard line for the kickoff. Alexander's number 1. He returned the punt for a touchdown earlier today. 14-13, Michigan leading. And that kick will go out of bounds. And it'll come up to the 35. Michigan will have the ball. Now here, Shea Foster and Tyrone Wheatley line up now in the backfield for Michigan, leading by 1 point, 14-13. And they start this possession from their own 35-yard line, and Wheatley carries. Good blocking on the corner. And Wheatley's across the 40, and he'll get him up to about the 43. This is the best starting point for a Michigan possession today. Whoa! 14-10 Auburn.
Auburn has really had a weak schedule, but nothing weak about Florida.
Can't see them, though. They're on probation. They elected to take their penalty this year. No TV. Probably go 11-0. 10-0. 10-1. Almost contact along the line of scrimmage. And Wheatley shakes off 1 man at the line of scrimmage, just took his leg away and picks up the first down. Gelsheiser now has 14 tackles in the ball game.
He's a quarterback, ex-quarterback. You like to see that, you know.
Now, you quarterbacks are tough.
He's a leading tackler coming in. Mentioned earlier about Jim Kelly, and Joe Paterno, we had lunch with him yesterday, was telling us about he said, Joe, I mean, Jim, if you don't play quarterback, there's other positions. You could probably be a linebacker. He did well.
Ball is handed by Todd Collins to Tyrone Wheatley, and number 89, Eric Clare, is right there when the handoff occurred, and there's no gain. We haven't called the names of Jackson Clare and Ben Foddy a whole lot today, but As we said, there's a reason why at Penn State the linebackers get so many tackles. And normally the reasons are those three big dudes hunkered down in the trenches in front of them.
That is so true. And the premier position here at this defense is linebacker. It's like the old days at Southern Cal was the tailback.
Wheatley again. To the 5-yard line, Lee Rubin got just enough of his shirt, was able to hang on through all of his 190 pounds on his back and dragged him down. First and goal, Michigan at the Penn State 6, and this could be the marketplace right here.
Is this a big play? Michigan needed to do something. Of course, 39, Rubin is going to come and make the play, but watch the blocking ahead. Now, Wheatley doesn't get caught from behind very often. Watch Rubin, number 39. He's only 5'9". He's a short guy, but he is a tough, tough hitter.
Wheatley's out, and Ed Davis is in at tailback. Give it to Davis. He comes off the bench ice cold, and they stick it in his hands. And he is brought down by Brian Monahan, number 36. Wheatley out getting a breather, 26 carries and 167 yards.
Watch the block of Foster, number 33, the fullback, on Dingle to help set it loose right there. Dingle was coming up, making the force. I bet Wheatley hasn't been caught from behind more than 2 or 3 times in his career. Hayes had a good block. But that was critical.
Second down and goal. The ball is right around the 7, and Todd Collins says something wrong here. I'm not paid to make these decisions. It goes straight to the coach. 6 minutes even to play in the game.
6 overtimes. 1. You have the ultimate power.
All right. The clock was about to run out. That's why, more than anything else, Collins called his timeout there. Todd Collins. Now Michigan has the ball. Second down and goal. The ball is very near the 7-yard line. Tyrone Wheatley now is back in the lineup at the tailback position. Michigan 14-13 on the scoreboard and trying to add to it right here. Wheatley with the ball up the middle to the 5. Maybe just inside the 5. And they'll unwrap him and find Eric Clare with his arms wrapped around the legs of Tyrone Wheatley.
I'm sure that Moeller would have loved to have seen Wheatley score that touchdown when he was running free. That's why that tackle by Rubin, if he would have scored a touchdown, they'd been up by 8 points. Now he's still got to get it in there, and field goal puts him up by 4.
But a touchdown is almost a door slam. But they would have to get a touchdown and a 2-point.
But you don't want to lose the field goal by doing anything silly down here. But his field goal kicker's missed twice today already.
Third down. Pass thrown out to the fullback. Foster. Touchdown, Michigan.
Here's Foster right here. The tight end's going to go in here and take all the defenders with you. And right out here in the flat, going to fake it up the middle. The tight end takes 3 guys with him. That's a hell of a call right there.
Elezovic for the point. Good. You've got 5 minutes and 12 seconds to play in the game. Michigan leads by 8.
This ESPN 6.
It's a happy sideline for the guys wearing white. Shea Foster is the man who caught the touchdown pass, and Michigan will kick it off now to Penn State. Penn State will have Shelly Hammonds and Kajana Carter as the deep people. Hammonds was involved in a most critical play in which Michigan took the lead. They caught him offsides instead of a missed field goal on 4th down. All of a sudden, Michigan got a first down and stuck it in the end zone.
You know, he wants to do something to make up for that. These two guys are dangerous back here running this kickoff back.
Well, the ball keeps blowing off the tee. That's the 3rd time it's happened, and with 5:12 to play in the ball game now, there'll probably somebody come over, Walter Smith come over and hold it. Wind is at the back of Michigan. Penn State undefeated coming into this ball game with a record of 5-0. Michigan 3-2, coming off a loss at Michigan State last week. But if they can win this game, they may save a season.
The touchdown pass to Foster, Shea Foster, that touchdown pass was his first of the season and only his 3rd catch of the year. That may be why he was so wide open.
All right, here's the high kick carrying. The Wind's got it back into the end zone. No return. Out to the 20 to come, first down.
Let's go back and take a look at the series when Penn State could not get in. This is the first play. The defensive line is pinching. Quarterback sneak, no gain. Defensive line is pinching in. Everybody's in tight. Again, quarterback sneak, no gain. 3rd play, give it to the tailback. The defensive line, again, everybody's pinching, no gain. Now, the first play of the 4th quarter, the line goes out, the 2 linebackers step in, and because the line was slanting out, there were several missed blocks, and Penn State didn't score. They did come back the next series and get a field goal, but no touchdown.
Now Kerry Collins pitches outside to Kajana Carter, and Carter is up to the 26-yard line. 2nd down and 4 coming up. But the point is, Bob, the Michigan defense, which has been a soft spot on the team, has truly, surely stepped up today.
It's a big point, Keith. If Michigan goes on to win this game and Dyson is back on the field, it'll be because of that defensive stand down there on the goal line.
And it may carry him the rest of the season.
We talked about at the beginning, this was going to be a character check for Michigan.
Kerry Collins down the middle. Big guy. Brady catches. First down at the 42. There have been no turnovers so far today. On first down, Kerry Collins to the sidelines, and it is off the hands of Justin Williams, number 27. He had a man short of Williams. He chose Williams, and he couldn't get to him. I don't know, that wind may be strong enough to be affecting a ball thrown in that direction because the flags are just stiff.
They are at the top of the stadium, and whenever somebody kicks off from left to right into the wind, it's always been a squib kick.
4 minutes and 22 seconds to play in the ball game. 21-13, Michigan leading. Ball is at the 42 for Penn State. Man turned upfield, got away with it. Pass is thrown to Bobby Ingram, and it's incomplete. Swanee, how does the wind feel to you on the sidelines, man?
Well, the wind's blowing right into the Penn State offense, Keith, and sometimes it'll change direction and be blowing from left to right, so it can definitely affect a pass thrown on the line to the sideline.
3rd and 10 coming up. The last 2 passes by Kerry Collins have not been very pretty.
And he's going into that breeze, whatever, you know, a consistent wind is not bad, but when it swirls, it's tough.
Throws to the sidelines. That won't get it done, though. That's only a 5-yard pickup. He threw it all the way across the field to Chip LaBarca, and it's 4th down and 5. Does he go here? 4 minutes and 10 seconds, so do they punt it here?
No, it's too soon. You got to punt it here.
Musillo's 4th kick of the day. And Derek Alexander counting people. He wants all the help he can get. Wynn grabbed that ball, and it takes a straight sideways bounce and trickles out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. So put it on the 20 now for Michigan. And all they want to do is fiddle around, fall down, pick up a first down.
First down.
Fiddle around, pick up a first down. They need 3, and they could probably run out the clock. Well, that's one. Tyrone Wheatley crosses the 35 and gets to the 36. A 16-yard pickup for Wheatley. Cliff Dingle, the tackle, and here's Lynn again.
Well, Keith, when we started the ball game, one of the stories was this sod field that was rolled in just 3 weeks ago, and throughout this ball game, it has held up tremendously well. Every once in a while, when a player makes a cut on what is a seam, it lifts up just a bit. But as you can look at this field, it's in great shape.
Wheatley stays in. He's been the big gun today again for the Wolverines. Got it again to the 40. That's about a 3.5–4 yard pickup. Clock trucking along at 3:20 to play in the game. 21-13 Michigan. And Florida has come back to lead Auburn 20-14. There was a field goal and a missed extra point there.
Both teams have 2 timeouts left.
Well, I guess they kicked the ball to make it 20. Wheatley. Yeah. That's his very simple old basic philosophy right here. When you've got a good horse, ride him. And that's what they're doing. Time permitting, we'll have the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report for you with scores and highlights. And the clock continues to run. 2:35. They'll need another maybe 2 more first downs in order to seal the clock. Ed Davis and Shea Foster in the backfield. 2:20. Home folks restless. They want to see their team with the ball. Here comes Davis. Fresh legs. First down, Michigan at the 45-yard line. So move the chains. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Tyrone Wheatley, 29 carries on 190 yards, and there's still some time left. Brian Gelsheiser, 14 tackles for Penn State. He's played a Super Bowl game. And with the ball resting at the 45 of Penn State, a timeout is charged to Michigan as Sean Miller is shaken up, and the left guard has to come out.
That offensive line of Michigan, we said coming in it would be critical going against the Penn State line. They've answered the questions about that, and Gary Moeller with what I think an outstanding call down here, Keith, the touchdown pass to Shea Foster, only his 3rd reception of the year, forced Penn State to go for a touchdown and not a field goal.
Hand it to the big guy, Foster, the fullback. He's a 240-pound sophomore, and he's down close to the 40-yard line. And now Penn State's going to have to start spending their times out. Well, Penn State will, unless something terribly dramatic happens, will drop with a loss. Ohio State playing Michigan State later. They're in for a pretty good fight. Wisconsin's going to win. They're going to be 3-0. We know that. So either Ohio State or Michigan State, their numbers will change before the supper table for them.
Well, as we said, Michigan had their backs to the wall. This is a critical game. They had to win to stay in the race. They've done that. Penn State with a loss is not out of the race, and Wisconsin going to 3-0 has their tougher games ahead of them.
This is Davis carrying, a sophomore from Detroit. He's at the 38-yard line. Tyrone Wheatley is on the sidelines right now. He has 190 yards in the ball game today. The last Division 1A player to rush for 200 yards in a ball game was Bobby Humphrey in 1987 versus Penn State.
Well, you got to give credit to that offensive line. Runyon, Miller, Melia, Marinero, and Sullivan, and also Jenkins.
So the Nittany Lions, as you see, your top 10, and they're going to probably tumble out of the top 10, depending on what happens in the games behind. Not necessarily, but they're certainly about to absorb their first loss.
In talking with Paterno yesterday, he said, you know, we don't know about our team. You know, we've played some teams. We're stepping up a notch in caliber to play Michigan. They really didn't know how good a team they had, but I'd say they look very much like a Big Ten team right here. Tough, physical, you know, defense, run the ball, special teams.
96,719 people came to see it, and they saw a good old-fashioned hit 'em hard, knock 'em down game, I'll tell you. Wheatley is back in the lineup. It is 3rd down and 3. Todd Collins gives it to Wheatley. He cuts it back into traffic, goes for the marker, and he's close, but he's not quite there. So it'll be 4th, I think, and half a yard. Penn State has used its last timeout. They don't have any more, so they can't stop the clock anymore. It is 4th down and a short 1, and Michigan will probably go for it. And if they get it, that will surely seal it as the clock continues to tick away.
I think it's a good call, Keith.
I do too.
I think it's a good call going for it. You're going to turn the ball over if you punt it. You may not if you run for it. If you don't make it, the field position's not that bad.
Well, I don't know if he made it or not. It was Wheatley carrying. And the clock now will stop at 52 seconds. Penn State say they didn't make it. And so does Jim Kimmerling. That makes it official. And so Penn State will get a final chance. So Michigan failed to pick up that 1 yard they needed there.
This game is not over. I mean, they're down 8 points. They have 52 seconds and no timeouts. Now remember, in college football, on a 1st down, the clock does stop until they move the chains, and then it starts again.
Terry Collins, sideline. He had a 1st down. He is rolled backwards. They're going to give him the initial contact.
Ball came out, didn't it?
Ball came out, I thought. But the official came over and marked it.
Incomplete.
And it's an incomplete forward pass.
Both quarterbacks, the Collins boys, have thrown the ball very well. This ball is right on target. That looks like a completion to me and a fumble. Couldn't see, though, from the other side. He may have been juggling it.
Well, the ball is on the 35. And it's 2nd down and 10. So the Penn State Nittany Lions need a miracle with 40 seconds. Clock ticking. Pass is thrown to Brady. Brady is well short of the 1st down and still inbounds. And the clock will continue to run.
You can't be throwing the ball to your tight end in the middle of the field in this situation.
Nope. Be a 1st down. The pass is caught by Stephen Pitts out of the backfield. So that should move the chain. And it also stops the clock with 18 seconds to play.
We showed you a graphic earlier. Penn State is last in the conference in passing the football. They came in averaging 157 yards a game. That doesn't mean you can't throw it. They just prefer to run it.
Steps away from the pressure, lets it go, and it is intercepted by Shante People. And he sits down at the 25. And that will do it. So the Nittany Lions will lose their first of the year. Michigan will go to 4-2 and stay very much in the race to the Rose Bowl. And 96,719 new record crowd watched the game, and now they start to mile away. As those of you at home look ahead to the games that are coming next in your area. And all very, very important games. Just as important as this one. And probably will be just as good as this one has been. It was a good, tough football game. So the final moments will tick away with Michigan defeating Penn State by a score of 21-13.